Hey again, guys, it's me, Joe Kristoff, a big fan of everything creepy and spooky. I'm sitting here hanging out at my house on a Tuesday night and thought it would be the perfect time to read some scary stories for you guys. And don't forget, if you do enjoy them, to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get right into it. So, our first story tonight is called Yes. When I was a child, my family moved to a big old 2-floor house with big empty rooms and creaking floorboards. Both my parents worked, so I was often alone when I came home from school. One early evening, when I came home, the house was still dark. I called out, "Mom?" and heard her sing-song voice say, "Yes?" from upstairs. I called her again as I climbed the stairs to see which room she was in, and again got the same "Yes?" reply. We were decorating at the time, and I didn't know my way around the maze of rooms, but she was in one of the far ones, right down the hall. I felt uneasy, but I figured that was only natural, so I rushed forward to see my mom, knowing that her presence would calm my fears. Just as I reached for the handle of the door to let myself in the room, I heard the front door downstairs open, and my mother call, "Sweetie, are you home?" in a cheery voice. I jumped back, startled, and ran down the stairs to her. But as I glanced back from the top of the stairs, the door to the room slowly opened a crack. For a brief moment, I saw something strange in there, and I don't know what it was, but it was staring at me. The grandfather. My grandfather told me the story about how one time he was sitting in a chair in front of his house when he heard his wife repeatedly calling him from inside the home. The thing is, my grandmother passed away a few years before that, but he told me that the voice was so pressing that he actually got up to look inside the house, and as soon as he got inside, he heard a loud crash behind him. He turned around to see that the chair he had been sitting in moments ago had been crushed by the cast iron gutter that fell on it. If he hadn't come inside the home, he would have probably been seriously injured or killed. I don't know if it's paranormal or not, but every time I think about it, it sends chills down my spine. What's in the basement? Mom told me to never go in the basement, but I wanted to see what was making that noise. It kind of sounded like a puppy, and I wanted to see the puppy. So I opened the basement door and tiptoed down. I didn't see a puppy. And then, Mom yanked me out of the basement and yelled at me. Mom had never yelled at me before, and it made me sad, and I cried. Then, Mom told me never to go into the basement again, and she gave me a cookie. That made me feel better. So I didn't ask her why the boy in the basement was making noises like a puppy, or why he had no hands or feet. The cabin. A hiker decided to go on a hike by himself, something he was not very used to. The whole day was normal. Trees and bushes engulfed his surroundings. He enjoyed being outdoors in the mountains. Nothing seemed strange to him. That was until he made his way back to the car. He figured an 8-hour hike was good enough. The sky was getting dark, and he needed to get back fast. What was odd was how he didn't recognize the trail back. He began to panic. Night had already taken over, and all he had was a flashlight and no clue on how to get back. He knew it was already too late and too dangerous to keep going through the perilous forest. He began to worry that he would have no shelter for the night when, almost luckily enough, he stumbled across a broken-down cabin. It was dark, and seemed like no one had visited it in years. But he knew it was the only place where he could rest until daylight, especially since his flashlight was running out of battery. He knocked on the door a few times, but no one answered, so he let himself in. Strangely enough, a perfect bed fitted for one person awaited him in the center. He knew that if the owner came back, he could explain himself. He was sure that the owner wouldn't mind, or was even probably dead. So he went ahead and got himself comfortable in bed. As he tried to sleep, he couldn't ignore the collection of paintings around the room. Portraits of strange-looking people all peering at him, each wearing a smile that sent chills up his spine. Not too long after his exhaustion from the hike, it got the best of him, and he was able to ignore the faces and fall asleep. The next morning, he got up early and was shocked to see that there were no paintings around the room, but windows. Well guys, that about wraps this video up. I hope that you enjoyed the stories. I know that I did. When I'm online, going website after website, trying to find good stories, I'm not gonna read a story that I don't think is worth it. And these stories today definitely very scary. And my favorite was the cabin story with the man that, goes to bed thinking that there's all of these pictures of people hanging around him, but then when he wakes up, he finds out that they were windows. I mean, that's the kind of stuff nightmares are made out of. That one scared the crap out of me. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did enjoy it, please make sure to go like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to start pouring out a lot more of these story-type videos, so definitely, stay tuned, and I hope that you have a wonderful night, and, oh yeah, one more thing, stay creepy.